thought today might be a fun day to talk about improv. We're bringing back the Storyteller's House improv team. It's not a plug. But I was thinking about not my first time in improv, but my first improv festival. So we go back to, gosh, when was it, 2015 I want to say, so I've been improvising for a couple of years in Munich. So the jam group, at the start of the jam group, we were just kind of like making our way, doing whatever we could. There'd been an initial set of workshops with this, the English, at the time the English improv group in the city. And then they hadn't done any more workshops, we'd started our own thing, scuba divers for a while, and then kind of that carried on. And eventually I decided I'm going to go for an improv festival. And the nearest one at that time is Mainz. And I was super nervous, it's my first improv festival, you know, I think anyone who does stage work knows there's a degree of like imposter syndrome going on, of like, am I good at improv? Am I good at improv, Daddy? And so there's a degree of like, oh God, I'm going to an actual professional, you know, am I good enough to go and do improv in a professional improv? Not professional, but like, you know, someone's going to teach me improv, do I belong there? Is that what I can do? And I'm a nervous person generally, so conferences, academic conferences, I was always a mess at conferences because I'm not actually that good in social settings. I always struggle, I feel sort of like, oh, you know, what am I here? So yeah, the amount of academic conferences where I've just kind of bugged out at the end of the night and gone home and slightly cried to myself because I'm just a bit nervous and stressed and feel a sense of like the need to socially perform. I always found that very stressful. As some of my academic colleagues there, that's what I was doing at AGU in San Francisco, as I was crying in a corner somewhere. So then I go to this improv festival in Mainz, and it's with a workshop leader I know not well, but he's taught us before, and so nervous. And the general habit in improv festivals, first workshop, they tend to be like the whole weekend. So the general habit is the workshop leader's like, hey, let's just do some light scenes, let me get a feel for the group. So cool. So you spend the first couple of hours just doing a bit of warm-ups, a bit of light scene work. Cool, great, nice and relaxing, a fun weekend ahead. And we are doing scenes, and someone's doing a fishing scene. And I'm just like, you know what? A fishing scene needs a fish. So there's two people standing on the riverside doing a fishing scene. And I'm like, well, this is boring, I'm going to go and be the fish. So I gamely leap in and like enhance the scene by being the fish, like flapping around in the middle of lying on the floor, flapping around like a fish, pretending to get kind of dragged in by the rod, you know. And there's a woman doing the fishing, and then this kind of guy swaggers up and is like, that's not how you catch a fish, let me show you how you catch a fish. And he kind of wades into the river to sort of man-lily, which is not a word, catch the fish. And I'm just flapping around being the fish. I've been doing that for about a minute and a half. My emotions are well established. Is he paying attention to what I'm doing? Of course he's not. What he does is he walks into me and just accidentally slams his kneecap straight into my eye socket. And I go down hard. You know, I mean, I'm already on the floor, but like I am like down on the floor, and it's like hurts like hell. Like it's the second most painful thing. Like, you know, I've had like a little finger breaking in football once. That hurt a hell of a lot. And this is like I'm holding my eye, and then I realize that everyone's staring at me in horror because my eye socket is like swelling up to the point where it looks like it's gonna split. And I'm just down on the ground going like, oh God. Eventually I kind of limp off the stage and go and sit down. And you know, I'm just like completely shaken up, completely like, you know, trying not to burst into tears too much because it's like really painful. And there's this kind of silence in the workshop. And then so we go and find the first aid room, we'll go and do that, and I'm sort of like, okay, I'm gonna go do that. And go to them, and they're like, oh crap, we're not really, well, we are sort of insured, but we're not kind of like all the way insured, so we really need you to like sit with this ice pack on, and then we're probably gonna need you to go to hospital like right now. And I'm like, oh, come on guys, I just want to do some improv. And I'm a little unsure whether I'm even going to be allowed to go back into the festival afterwards, because I don't know I don't know what's happened. Like I've been kneed in the eye socket, and I don't know how bad is it. I got a concussion. I don't know. And I'm sort of sitting there, and I'm holding my head, and I'm just like really trying not to cry, because I'm just like, man, this is my first improv workshop. I was really looking forward to it, and I don't know if I'm going to get to play, and I'm going to miss out on like the first chunk of it. Will I be able to go tomorrow? You know, trying really hard, and they're like trying to find me an ice pack, trying to find me more ice packs, trying to find me more ice packs. I haven't even checked into my Airbnb yet. You know, I'm staying, and I'm like, how on earth am I going to do this? And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to hospital. I'm going to hospital in Mainz. I don't know Mainz at all. So I go to the hospital. The workshop leader super kindly is like, hey, I'll take your key and I'll go and like, you know, I'll open up your house for you and I'll just kind of stay there. I don't really like socializing anyway, so I'm just going to go and like, I'm going to go and do some work in your flat. And that's, you know, so kind of let go out. That's fine. Go and like do the, you know, go to hospital and they're like, you're not concussed. It's fine. Just keep ice on it. You know, all good. All good. Next day, go back into the improv festival, and my eye, by the way, is like already like David Bowie blue. You know, it's like someone's giving me eyeshadow, like really kind of, you know, bright blue metallic eyeshadow, and it's like that already. And I think it takes like almost 6 weeks to fully, you know, resolve itself. You know, it goes from like blue to yellow to red. It's a feature for quite some time. And the workshop's great. The workshop's really nice time, learn a lot. It's still one of the most, well, up until Würzburg a few years afterwards, it was like formative. You know, it taught me a lot about what I needed to do in improv, and it gave me the permission to be a big character on stage, etc. And we come to the end of the festival, at the end of that workshop, when everyone comes together and everyone talks about what they learned or what they enjoyed, and what, you know, and so everyone's like, oh, I really enjoyed doing this, I really enjoyed doing that. Okay. Comes around to the guy who needed me in the ice bucket, and he says, oh yeah, this is my favorite improv workshop since I did the stage fighting workshop last year. I nearly flipped my shit. It's like, you did stage fighting and you still need fucking eye sockets. I still have a chip on just where, like, I think there's a very slight chip in the bone from that collision. So that is the story of my first improv workshop. It did not put me off. I'm still happily doing improv. It's been a break for the last 3 years for some, you know, having a small toddler, but happy to get back to it. I love improv. I always recommend improv to anyone who just like wants to, you know, try it out. There's lots of workshops in the city. I started, you know, improv is a thing that like I think appeals to a lot of people. For me, I have slight control issues, and improv is relieving and rewarding as a consequence. So that is the story of my first improv festival, and that is my story.